Okay, it's Sunday, June 26th, at a little bit before 2, and it's time for an update. We have a few developments. First, we've got this plant down here, which I'm always saying, yeah, not much going on. Well, let's see if we can find it. We have one very large bean going on here. We got a couple more getting started. And those are larger beans than I'm used to seeing, so I'm thinking this actually might have been a lima bean. So I'm excited about that. I've done a little bit of transplanting. Sorry about the waviness, I'm trying to get a little more steady on my camera work here. The acorn squash I've transplanted into 2 pots. I'm not sure if I mentioned that on the last one. Strawberry really isn't doing anything. I had 2 baby watermelons. One is still in its original pot. The other one is sitting over here now in a larger pot. I've taken the lemon cucumber and transplanted that into a larger pot. I still have a small Dixie, but I have plenty of other Dixies. Another bean, but I have plenty of other beans. We've got the broom corn, which is starting to exhibit part of what makes it broom corn. And that's the head right there. So this is not actually, if you were thinking that broom corn meant some kind of special kind of edible corn, no, it's not edible. What it actually is the material that you see in those in the brooms that have the wooden fibers. That's actually broom corn that makes those up. So I'm kind of interested to see how this is all going to look, because it's actually supposed to be multicolored, so I think it's going to go from green to another color. And I've got 3, 4, 5 stalks in this particular box, so I'm happy there. Just to give you a quickie little look, the chamomile has been doing nice. There's a little more chamomile hiding, sort of camouflaged behind the behind the beans. The beans are doing good, although they keep dropping leaves, and I'm not sure what the deal is with that. So here's like another leaf that dropped. I'm trying to make sure they get plenty of water. I've been trying to sort of mist the leaves, maybe. It may just be the grasshopper, or maybe that's just the way these plants are, is that they drop leaves. If anybody knows, go ahead and let me know. The sweet corn's looking good. It's not quite mature like the broom corn is getting to. But here's the real surprise, it's in the tomatoes. Now, you've seen these 2 tomatoes, and you've seen some buds that I've been showing. But there was something my neighbor said a few days ago that didn't quite register until I looked at it yesterday. And let me work my way back around here and show you. There are buds all over the place on this side. I just wasn't seeing them because I keep looking from the other side. So I have got buds galore on this plant, and I am really excited. To the point where I've actually had to put in a couple of bamboo stakes. I got this one running across. The reason it actually goes up is because it's actually tied off to another bamboo stake here. And then I have my branches loosely secured to that so that they have some support when I eventually get some little tomatoes out of it. So I'm excited with this. Now let's go check out downstairs. Okay, so I did lose some plants down here, but not these just yet. There's one transplant that's not doing so well. This one down here is doing pretty good. Moving over, we've got the square planter, the other one, and then we got these sickly looking, what was that, a spaghetti squash, I think. But so it's kind of half and half here. The other plants that are kind of up along the railing are doing reasonably well, except maybe for this one, which is another crookneck squash. So I may just let that one go eventually. It's starting to become a little too much maintenance for these itty-bitty little plants. So let's look over at the smaller section. Okay, I should probably say that some of the stuff upstairs that wasn't doing so good has ended up down here. Because in the morning it gets a little bit more extreme sun. Maybe that'll bring some of them back, but we've essentially got a little flower pot. We've got a straight neck, which is just a tiny little one still surviving. We've got the, what is this? This is the butternut squash, which doesn't look like much. It looked more alive when it first popped through, but we'll keep watering it, we'll see what happens. We've got a Dixie and a crookneck squash sitting there. Still alive in one of the bigger pots. I'm starting to wonder why some of these just aren't growing, but another straight neck. I got the yard-long beans, which weren't doing much. I got the kabocha squash, which wasn't doing much. More lemon cucumber seeds in a pot that aren't doing anything. The upside down straight neck there is basically a pot that's gone. The crook neck next to it is pretty much dead. The beans, this bean plant's doing a little better. It's starting to climb up the pole that I gave it. We have another squash plant over there, which is, let's see if we, oh, it's a scallop squash. So that's that. But then the other real sort of surprise is the coyote squash. If you remember, it just kept growing and growing and growing. Well, it got to a point where it was going up past the air conditioner, so this is what I ended up doing. I follow it up, and I gave it some strings for support. And if it keeps growing as long as it wants to grow, then we may end up with an arch, which could be rather interesting. And then maybe having some coyote squash hanging off the arch, I don't know. I just didn't want to, I kept trying to get it to go around on the wall up by the air conditioner there, and it just wasn't going to work. So I had to come up with another solution. So I just hung strings from the bottom of the stairs, and we've got an arch, and we'll see what that turns into. So that's it for today. We'll see if that's enough to create a whole new episode. Okay, so it's Monday, June 27th at about 3:30, a little before. A couple of little developments. I just wanted to show that the transplants are doing nicely. I think I already showed you the broom corn, what that looks like. And the tomato plant, I tell you, this thing's been drinking like crazy. I could probably pour a gallon of water in there. I have to pour it in a little slowly, otherwise it just overwhelms it, but it could easily drink a gallon of water a day. And so what I just did was I just put a whole bunch of water in, and so you might be able to see, and I just want to document this, that there's water in the bottom tray now. I pull out a bit, you can see how high up on that tray it is. So what I'm going to do is I'll come back later and I'll take another shot so we can see how much it actually drinks from that. I suspect the roots have made it all the way down to the bottom of the pot, and they're just soaking it up. Because I actually saw some overflow earlier, and then it disappeared. It probably doesn't hurt the fact that it's now 102 degrees, so part of that is just evaporating, but I don't know. It seems like it's just soaking up water like crazy, which I have no real problem with if it's going to give me all sorts of fruit. So anyway, I just wanted to document that for today. Okay, 45 minutes later, there's no real change. So now I'm challenged with emptying the thing out without poking a hole in it, which means I've got to actually lift that entire plant, hopefully without damaging it. So I guess my fear now is that I'm super saturating it with water, and I don't want the roots to rot, especially after all the progress. So I'll empty it out, and then we'll go back to trying to figure out how much it actually drinks each day.